Hi and welcome to the December and Christmas Book Squad. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, then I've explained it in every single one before. Basically, every month I choose a book to read for the month, and then towards the end of the month I come and film a video and tell you what I thought of it, and sometimes include some of what you guys thought of it as well, and take suggestions for a book for next month. So this month was a little bit different. Because it's Christmas and because this is part of our Geekmas content that we've had going for the whole of December. If you haven't seen any of our other Geekmas stuff, go and check out our blog and go and check out our Twitter and the rest of our YouTube channel. We've actually had a lot more YouTube content than usual. We have done something new every day for Geekmas, and it's been a lot of fun, and our Book Squad, December's Book Squad, is going to be a part of that, which is really good fun. But that means that we had slightly less time this month to read the chosen story or the chosen book for December. Read was chosen by Ken Major on Twitter, and it was The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding by Agatha Christie. Now, when Ken suggested it, I think he was suggesting the whole, because it's actually a short story collection, and I think he was suggesting the whole short story collection. I'll be honest, due to the constraints of December, I elected to only read The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding story and not the whole collection. For two reasons. One, because of the time constraint, and two, because I have actually read this collection in the past. I have to say, I was so glad that this was chosen and suggested by Ken. Thank you so much. I love the Hercule Poirot stories. Weirdly, I got into it the other way round to how I get into most books. So I actually used to watch the TV shows or TV adaptations of the stories as a kid, and then realised they were books, so went and read the books, whereas normally I read the books and then get into the film or TV adaptations. So I really, really love these books and these stories. I love the character of Poirot. I just think he's genius because he's kind of, he almost has a Clouseau comedy to him, but without being sort of slapstick and stupid, and obviously is just a brilliant mind. So yeah, I absolutely love all of the Poirot stories, and this was no exception. I mean, Poirot Christmas really is always going to be a winner, I think, and I just like that in this story it really captures his kind of wit, and also how not fanciful he can be, but you know, the fact that he was completely not interested in helping out in this case at all until he discovered there was central heating at the house that he would be staying at, and then he was there in a shot. He's all about those sort of little comforts and little luxuries where he can find them. So it was really, really enjoyable, and it's really short, this story, so if you haven't read it and you're thinking maybe but I haven't got a lot of time, and you're going to have a free, even just a free hour, I'd say I read this story on a train to London, and I read it within that train journey, and it is only about an hour from here to London on the train, and I finished it in one foul swoop. So if you just find you've got, you know, an hour to kill over the Christmas period, this story is a really good one. It made me just want to wrap up with a blanket and a hot mug of hot chocolate. And actually has really made me want to go and watch Poirot, so I need to have a look and see if I can find the TV adaptations, because it's really made me want to re-watch a lot of them. But one of the things I really like with the way Agatha Christie writes these is they are written quite simplistically, although the plots and the investigations can be quite complex or convoluted. Actually, it's written really simply, and it's not a chore to keep up with. It's quite light-hearted. So yeah, this was a really, really good festive read, and I'm really glad that I reread it. I know that Ken Major, who suggested it, did also read it, and I have screenshotted his comments. Ken is really good. Anything that he reads, he puts a review on goodreads.com. So he said that it was a really enjoyable collection of short stories, so well done for reading the entire collection. I actually do want to go back and reread all of the Poirot stories as well, because it's been quite a while since I read them actually, and I feel like you can't get bored with them. And he says, I'm not the biggest fan of these types of collections, especially murder mysteries. Tend to find that they have one or two weaker tales, but didn't find that with this collection. The titular story, The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, was my favourite, especially at this festive time of year. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it and that you read the whole collection as well. I just didn't quite get round to them all. Usually I have a copy of the book to sort of hold up. I don't, because I actually downloaded this on my Kindle because I knew I wanted to read it on a train. But having spoken about the festive read and about our book for December, it is now time to pick something for January. And I have to say, in particular, a massive thank you to Ken. I think I mention you every video because you have read every single book that I've picked. So I'm really thankful to you, really pleased that you've been reading them, even though I know you haven't enjoyed every single one that I've picked. Hopefully you'll enjoy the next one, but I have moved out of, not my comfort zone necessarily, but I feel like I've gone, with this next one, it's a little bit outside of maybe the norm for Booksquad. So what I have decided to pick is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which looks like this. This was actually bought for me by my husband, Dave, who is also a part of the Jack and the Geekstalk team. I read a few of John Green's books. I think the first one I read was The Fault in Our Stars, and then I made the mistake of seeing the film when I was about 5 months pregnant, and I cried so much. And I do own the film, and I've not been brave enough to go back and watch it since because I don't feel like there's enough tissues for that. So I've read a few of John Green's books in the past. Some of them I really love. The Fault in the Stars I really love. Others I haven't been quite as keen on. They are obviously more teen fiction books, but sometimes I like teen fiction because generally it's fairly easy to read, and I still quite often find the characters really relatable. So this one says somewhere, 16-year-old Asa never intended to pursue the mystery of fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett, but there's a $100,000 reward at stake, and her best and most fearless friend Daisy is eager to investigate. So together they navigate the short distance and broad divides that separate them from Russell Pickett's son Davis. So it sounds quite interesting, and yeah, that is my pick for January. I'm hoping that Sammy from the Jack and the Geekstalk team might even join in with this one because she loves John Green. She's actually how I started reading John Green books. So I'm hoping that she might even join in with this one, so I might even have some comments or maybe even a guest appearance from her in the January Book Squad video. So yeah, that is my pick, and I hope some people will read along with me. That is it for this month. I feel like it's been quite a short Book Squad video, but it was quite a short story to read, and I could have quite easily ended up saying more words than were in the actual story. But with it being Christmas and Geekmas, everybody's busy, so we will keep this short, to the point, and just say a very Merry Christmas to everybody, and I will see you in 2018. Bye!